how if you don't address these things, you can just perpetuate them and not really know it. But even if you are addressing them, you can still perpetuate them because you still have these traumas. I have these traumas. And one of the things I realized last year, learned, was that I have CPTSD, and the way it plays out, and the way it impacts my body, and the way I just show up day to day hyper vigilant, and all these kind of things is it got to a point last year where it was just too much. I could not continue the recording schedule, and even work. I cut down on my work halfway and all these things. And so it like you said, it is really based on my life and what I'm doing. And so I just had hit a point of like, even my doctors were telling me, you have to pause on everything that you can. You need to stop. You need to rest. You need to, and so we're going to start back up. And I really want to dig into healing, because that's what I spent all of 2020 working on. And it took me places I never would have thought that I would have been going. But it also brought some back to the whole thing we were just talking about, some deep realizations. Like I never would have thought I had CPTSD. I never really would have thought that my hypervigilance and all the stuff that I've always been thinking is normal is not normal. And impacts me in so many ways. And then let's not even talk about your physical health, how it starts breaking down your physical health. And so, I just kind of hit a crisis point last year personally.
Not kinda, you.
No, I did.
And you were doing so many things in the middle of it. Y'all probably remember her name from the network. That was one of the things that you had to pause.
Yeah, I had to pause a lot. So, and I was feeling so upset about it. Like I was thinking, well, it's not fair. It's not, but one of the things that I really learned last year was rest. I never had been allowed to rest. I never had been allowed to know what it feels like to give myself the space between activities. I didn't know what it felt like to say, you don't have it today and it's quite all right, right? Like in the past, I would have, no, you got to do these things. You're going to do these things. And so, I swear I had weekends where I literally laid up in the bed the entire weekend, and no guilt, no nothing, because I have finally come to a point, you pray you don't have to hit crisis to get these understandings, right? But I was just in crisis. And so there's no guilt around like, this is what I need. And if I, even still, I'm still managing my energy. So I still don't move around like I used to. I still can't do a million errands in a day or, all this kind of stuff. Just 2 weeks ago, I was like, had energy and I was excited. And so I had cleaned the house and done this stuff, and I thought I was going to cook. And then I sat down for a minute and I was like, I ain't cooking nothing. Like, I don't have no energy to stand in that kitchen, legit, no energy. So, it's just a process, but the podcast is deeply personal.